Hi.
Hey everybody, it's another episode of Transformers for your listening pleasure, episode 178. Tonight I'm joined by Headmaster Don. I'm joined by Maroni Prime, who is currently taunting me with something I don't have,
Yes.
and I hate you for it. And we have Megamus.
What's up?
So enthusiastic.
So enthusiastic.
Alright, so it's the season, or just about, where everyone asks for expensive things to go under the tree that they couldn't afford throughout the year. And here at TFYLP, we've got opinions, and we want to share them. So we are going to tell you what you should ask for, the best stuff this holiday season.
Or if you know someone in your family that's a collector and want some ideas, you can use these too.
Yeah, that works too. All right. So who wants to get this started? What is one of the best things someone should ask for or should get someone who loves Transformers this year? How about you, Don?
Okay, well, first up, we talked about this pre-show. We're all in an agreement that in the above $150 price range, the only thing you need to consider as far as an official toy is Combiner Wars Devastator. We were all going to say it. You know, that was definitely going to come up for everybody, so we're just sort of front-loading that. Yeah, we know Devastator. So, that's pretty much a recommendation probably all of us would be giving anyway. So, if you know someone who likes Transformers and doesn't have Combiner Wars Devastator, boom. There's your big-ticket item. Officially.
What was that?
Is it, who likes Transformers? Those things are for
I don't know.
They're
everybody.
better.
I
They're-
mean, 8, it says what, 4+? I mean,
Yeah.
Transformers, it's better than crack.
yeah, that Devastator is an amazing figure. And if you don't have one, and if you've been waiting until Christmas to get one, or to get one for the person who wants one, you're making a good choice. Because, I mean, even Bah Humbug, Combiner Wars hating, Megamus loves that figure.
Favorite.
Small humbug.
But I'll go ahead and I will go first then. I've broken mine up into price ranges to make it a little bit simpler. And I've also got a few mentions from my friends who have toys that I don't have, but when I mentioned this to them in passing, they strongly recommended them as offers, and so I trust their judgment enough on those. In the stocking stuffer category, you've got your, for the younger kids, you've got all your Transformers themed books and all that stuff. But if you want a great figure for the stocking stuffer, Legion Class Fix-It from Robots in Disguise. It's a great little toy. It's simple for the young kids, but for the collectors, even if you don't watch Robots in Disguise, it's such an expressive toy that you can do with so many poses, so many looks. He can be happy, sad. It's just one of the best $5 you will ever spend for a Legends class figure. So I cannot recommend that enough as a stocking stuffer. Now,
Legally spend.
legally spend. In the $0 to $50 category, I'm going to recommend two things. One is if you have a Transformers fan in their life, no matter what their purview is, I honestly don't think you could go wrong with the DVD collection of Beast Wars. I know a lot of the older fans, when it came out, there was some diversion about it. But I think even this far after its creation, it still holds up as a solid series. I think in some cases you're looking at animation style being a little outdated by this point, but the strength of the story more than makes up for any technical errors that age has caused. So I think if you have a Transformer fan in their life, even if they're not a big Beast Wars fan, they could always re-gift it. I know, but I'm thinking there's a lot of people out there that may not remember the series that well or never saw it, so that's what I recommend as far as that. Another thing.
Sorry, I'm going to cut in.
That's
I was
all
just going to say, a little bias here, but I think by season 3 of Beast Wars, the animation was just about on par with, maybe the textures weren't as crisp, but I felt like it was just about as good as Prime.
Right.
I never, even watching it now, I mean, and the first season is really there's not a lot going on in the background, but by season 3, jungles actually have foliage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was considering that it was, 98. It was really well done.
It's just so many people view animation through a different lens. It's like I know people that hated the look of Transformers Prime and thought it didn't look as good as things that came before it, despite the fact that, to me, it was a very solid animation style. So again, I was just erring on the side of caution.
Yeah.
I do have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You said that your pick was in the $0 to $50 range. What exactly are you going to buy for $0?
Well,
are you giving away hugs, or
Armada Laserbeak.
Just curious.
I'm giving away.
Specifically said 0 to 50, so I would like your pick for
okay.
0.
As soon as I can learn to clone Massey, everybody gets a Massey for free.
Well, there you go.
Weapons of Massey Destruction.
Yes.
That's both a blessing and a curse.
The unofficial $50 that I would recommend would be the DX9 add-on set to turn your Evasion Mode Optimus into a movie Genrai.
That does look pretty cool.
Because this really fundamentally changes the silhouette and the look of the figure. I know there's a lot of people that the movie aesthetic is not their thing, but as Genrai, this could pass for maybe a classics Genrai. I don't know. It depends on your desires, but I think that would be a great, if you have someone that has a lot of movie toys and they got the Evasion Mode Prime, this would be a great add-on kit to give them something different. In the $50 to $100 range, I've got a couple. My recommendation from my friend Icon45, Battle Grimlock from Japan, which is the retool of Fall of Cybertron Grimlock as Robots in Disguise or Adventures Grimlock. Again, I don't have this toy, and he's biting me. No, sir. No, sir. You get down.
I am shocked and appalled that he would bite you. I would never have thought that.
This is that curse part that I was talking about.
It's like I tried to tell you, Weapons of Massey Destruction. Just didn't believe me.
Bad boy.
I mean, everyone's having fun and Massey attacks.
Anyway, okay.
It just wouldn't be Christmas without a Massey attack.
Right.
So the Battle Grimlock, he recommends it. I trust his judgment because he imports very little. So if he imports something, it's definitely something that he has his eyes on.
I think that mold, as Fall of Cybertron Grimlock, it was really a miss in my book. But man, that using it or retooling it into that Grimlock, at least the pictures I've seen, looks really, really good.
That he said basically it really helps your Robots in Disguise display from a scale standpoint because it's such a better fit in with the Warrior figures at that size.
Yeah, and I think he may well own that mold at this point.
Yeah. So
more than if Fall of Cybertron Grimlock ever could have.
So that's my official recommendation from my friend Icon45. My other recommendation would be unofficial recommendation would be the Warbot Revolver from Fans Project. The reason I recommend this is because it's a great alternative take on Roadbuster. It looks good. It's a Voyager style figure. So I know there's a lot of other figures that are out, like the new Sphinx. Unfortunately, I don't have Sphinx and Gundog yet, so I don't want to recommend something I don't have in my possession. But I've had this guy since he came out. He's very solid, and I think he looks good as a Roadbuster.
Let me ask you this: have you checked out the Generations version?
I have it. It's
I can tell you that I've had both, and I'm pretty sure they have a kit that's coming out for the Generation one, and I think it's better. I really do.
all right.
I think it's a better representation, and you're going to save a little bit of money.
That's true, and that's very true, because I mean, like, I've seen Roadbusters at a chain called Ollie's, which is a secondhand closeouts discount chain
Yeah.
for $18. So
Yep.
yes, that is a good figure for the price. It's just
I'm trying to remember. I think that kit was only like $20 or $30
yeah.
that they were talking about. I know it's out here somewhere. Let me find it.
Yeah, but I just wanted to recommend, because that's a figure that I have. I've heard nothing but good things about Sphinx, but I don't have one, so I didn't want to recommend something I don't have.
Sure.
And in my over 100 to 150, my final recommendation is going to be this guy right here. Again, I don't really have an official recommendation for anything that high, because I don't have a Metroplex to recommend. Again, there's that, because I have Utopia. And there's really not anything official above the $99 price point, except for Devastator. So unofficially, I am going to recommend, it's another DX9 figure, Carrie. This is an absolute beautiful piece. I think it's a great representation of Rodimus Prime. The all-in-one transformation of the engineering is absolutely beautiful. How they get everything to fit. I know there's some scale sizes as far as him condensing down to a smaller Flaming Winnebago, and he doesn't quite fit in with the vehicle mode for Masterpiece. But I think just as a toy, as a representation of Rodimus Prime, this is a great figure, and DX9 hit it out of the park. And he's got floppy gun syndrome. Well, the one downside about this, the only downside that I really have, his Target Master really isn't held well by the robot. So I'm using Masterpiece Rodimus's Photon Eliminator in its place just for looks. But the actual core robot of Carrie, stunning engineering, great looking robot. Cannot recommend it enough. And that's really all that's all my recommendations. That's what I recommend.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find a price, but that's the kit I was talking about.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
I don't think I've even seen that. I've seen
like
yeah. I've seen kits for my Revolver to give it the armored up Roadbuster look, but I haven't seen one for the Generations toy.
yeah. This I'm pretty sure what this does is just gives it new hands, and it looks like new accessories.
Right. Well, like I said, I totally agree because of the price versus the representation. It's just, as Roadbuster, I like the looks of Revolver more than the Generation. The Generation one for me, if the wheels on the forearms were somewhere else, but those wheels just hanging down on the forearms, that really
they're kind of distracting.
That really bugs me for some reason. But that's my recommendations.
I like the wheels.
You like the wheels on? We're talking what, the classics?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, the Generations.
Well,
They're on the forearms.
Well,
he likes the wheels on the bus. They go round and round.
Sure.
Well, no, think about it. Like if he was in battle and he was laying down on the ground being a sniper or something, he could just drive on his forearms and just slowly move along.
So basically, he'd be like the boss
snail?
kind of thing.
why army crawl if you can just army
Drive.
Oh, there you go.
Right.
You know what the thing I think of? Does anyone 1980s G.I. Joe Recon sled? Does anyone know what that is?
Yeah, I do.
I do not.
I
Nope.
do.
It's literally looks like a skateboard that's curved to your body, and you lay down on it, and it just rode. It had little guns, so you laid on your belly.
Yeah.
It's
Nice.
called the
Or-
Recon Sled.
Or for a little more current, the Batman Beyond episode where he gets the street luge. When Batmite turns him into these weird 90s Kenner Batman colors, and he gets this urban street luge.
Or that.
Very
By the
similar.
way, on Facebook, James Gaultier, he said in his pick from the zero, he didn't say zero, he said one. He said one, which if you can get it for $1, that's great. $25. He says that the Stunticon weapons from Render Form would be a good pick.
Those are that's a set that's desperately in need of some weapons.
Yeah. Well, he
Because
shows
two
a
of them
pick.
come with those really crappy exhaust pipes that don't have any business to go anywhere on their vehicle mode.
mean, like this stuff?
I just can't see Dead End really just clubbing somebody to death. It just
It wouldn't really be quite so bad, I don't think, if like Dead End and what do they call them, Breakneck, the Wild Rider.
Yeah.
If they each came with two, so you could have symmetrical exhaust pipes on the vehicle, and maybe if the edge wasn't curved, they'd seem more like a gun as opposed to just holding a pipe.
Now, are these the right guns, or does this gun go with breakdown? I guess
That would be, but that's probably one of the render form.
Is that a render form?
Yeah,
Okay.
the gun is in his other hand because
And then this one over here.
yeah, that's another render form.
Okay, so what he's doing, he's taking the G1 colors and kind of making a little larger for the Combiner Wars size, and that I guess that would be a set. That's pretty neat.
Yep.
Yeah, that was about.
And that would be from render form, is what James is saying.
That sounds like a great recommendation.
Yes.
Not bad, not bad.
Because like I said, the one thing that sucks about the Stunticons is they got gypped when it comes to weapons.
Definitely.
So how about you, Jim? What do you think everyone should be getting, asking for, given for Christmas?
I'm predicting a lot of Creo on this list.
Well, I don't know so much about Creo because Creo is in kind of a weird spot right now. Although I am finding some different odds and ends, like at TJ Maxx and other similar discount chains. For instance, last night I picked up this little doodad. That's the Creo Transformer, I forgot what it's called.
That's a battle
Creon Battle Changer Optimus for like $8.
I need to go check my.
And
outlet stores.
I've been taunting Michael Swift with it.
Oh, I've been looking for those things for like a year. I mean, we saw images of those last year at Toy Fair or something like that.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is, even though it took an entire year for them to even kind of show up, they showed more at Toy Fair this year that are nowhere to be seen.
Right.
It's so confusing.
Oh, and also, you talk about the discount stores, Jim, before you get started. The G.I. Joe Creos are showing up at Ollie's as well. I have not seen the Terror Drone. I'm sorry. I've not seen Serpentor with the free Terror Drone. I've not seen that. But I have seen some of the smaller sets showing up at Ollie's as well. So if you have
I heard about the RC, the Generations RC being out there, but not the G.I. Joe Creo.
Yeah. But
Anyway,
wow us, Jim. Come on, wow us.
Yeah. As far as the recommendations for the 0 to 50, for 0, I would say Masterpiece Wheelie. But as far as 1 to 50, honestly, any of the Combiner Wars Deluxes out currently. Like for instance, I picked up this the Sunstreaker here, Walmart, $14.99. It's a deluxe figure, and it is a remold of the previously released Breakdown. And it's part of a team that collects some characters that were not previously combiners in Generation 1. And I really like them. They're good, decent figures, wonderful articulation, and they're not too expensive. I mean, by comparison to what deluxes were 10 years ago, sure, but for $15, I don't think it's a bad deal.
It's a better deal than what you're getting for, say, the RID Warrior class right now.
Yeah, I'll agree there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, ones like I said, Sunstreaker. Ironhide is another one I have my eye on, which uses the off-road mold here. But yeah, there's a bunch of them out, and there's a bunch more coming out just in the coming months. So you might even start seeing them now from Black Friday on through to Christmas. So just keep an eye out there. What was the next price point? 50 to 100?
That's what I did, yeah.
Okay. Goodness, I'm going to have to say anything Leader Class Combiner Wars. I mean, right now I am in so much love with what Combiner Wars is doing. So I cannot recommend it enough. But Leader Class, I would say probably, if you can still find it, or if it's even shown up at your local stores yet, Combiner Wars Leader Class Ultra Magnus is a figure that's impressed me. It's different than the Heritage Magnus in that it's not like separate cab, like a little white Optimus cab and the trailer. It's the trailer cab combo and a little car, Minimus Ambus, that drives it. So if you're looking for G1 accuracy, it's not quite there, but it's a good figure. Has amazing transformation in such a way where it incorporates the cab as part of the trailer, like in one solid piece. There's not much in the way of parts forming.
I would say it's definitely close enough to the G1 figure or to a classic G1.
Yeah.
To hold that spot, but then it also has the added benefit of being that representation of the IDW Ultra Magnus, which is a great character, and the toy is great, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's definitely very well done.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just checked Amazon to see if that Leader Class Thundercracker was still around $26, and it's gone back up to regular price. Well, a little bit less than retail, because there's not that many Leader Class Combiner War figures except the two jets with Starscream and Thundercracker and Magnus.
Well, Scott Warp's coming out too, isn't he?
And the two Megatrons.
And the two Megatrons, yeah. So, unfortunately, the Thundercrackers are going back up, or I was going to just toss that out there as an option too.
Which you might look for that, coming in this next week. Amazon does Black Friday deals, and they do Cyber Monday deals.
Yeah, oh God. At this point, there's no telling what's going to happen in the next week.
Yeah.
Don, you said that was the Leader Class Thundercracker that went back up?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, somebody that actually has that same Leader Class Combiner Wars Thundercracker on sale right now for $35 plus shipping. I think that might be CapturedPrey.com. Great toys, great prices, great service. CapturedPrey.com. And
so that's right now up on their website?
Yeah, right now. I'm looking right at it. $35. It was $45. He's also got Armada Megatron marked down, and I'm not sure what else. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Looks like those are the two main Combiner Wars items that are on sale. And then there's a lot of other good deals at some other store. I think Brett was telling me about it. Brett, what would that store be?
I don't know.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say it was something to the effect of maybe megatoyfan.com. Maximize your collection, minimize your price. Lots of vintage Transformers and some current ones, and a great selection overall.
Vintage goodness.
Yes. OG or GTFO.
And the guy that runs it is kind of cool. He's kind of cool.
Oh, now you're making me blush. I know I'm not. I don't care.
I am lying, so that means I'll get coal for Christmas.
One lump of coal. Hey, there you go. There's your zero.
Hey,
someone's getting Rock Lords.
Now, how awkward would it be if someone actually put coal on their Christmas list?
Hey, if
you're hungry,
if you're a Highlander and you're immortal, You can wait a million years, and you got a diamond.
Oh God, jeez.
But would you have to be from the Highlands of Scotland in order to do that?
Don, you had to work hard for that one.
Yeah.
You really did. You had to work hard for that.
They all can't be flashes of brilliance.
I got you.
No.
Well, since we're talking about our sponsors and we're talking about Black Friday, now's the time to break some news for CapturedPrey.com. They're having some Black Friday deals, and we got the scoop. So for $50, you'll be able to get MP21G G2 Bumblebee. 10% off TFCon exclusive figures with coupon code TFCONBF15. $65 Black Gold Hybrid Convoy. $100 WBO1E Fierce Attack.
Which is Warbitron's own Sloth, which is a very impressive figure.
$15 Takara Legends Rat Trap and Tank War figures. $8 Combined War Legends Groove, Skywarp, and Warpath. $10 CW or Combined Wars Legends Rodimus. $125 MP5G Gold Megatron. Imperfect boxes on that one. And $100 TW06 Evila Star.
Evil Star. Now, yeah, that's the not Astro Train.
Is it supposed to be Evil Star? That must be a typo.
Yeah. Well, now I from Captured Prey at TFCon, I did pick up the recolor. There's two versions. This is the recolor here. If you want to see what he looks like. And
Interesting.
yeah, it's this was kind of an impulse purchase for me on the last day of the show, but I just when I saw the train mode and how you saw no shuttle and no robot in the train mode, and you see very little of either in the shuttle mode. Now, again, the robot, you're going to see everything, of course, but that right. So that's.
Doc, can you hold that a little bit of a different angle? I think I'm getting some glare from your monitors.
Sorry.
What color that actually is?
It's a deep purple and gray. Mostly gray with some deep purple trim and some red highlights.
Okay.
I don't know what everyone else was seeing, but he almost looked like he was in blast-off colors.
I don't know. The glare from the monitor, I thought it was green. I was like, is that Devastator? What?
Is that any better?
A green and purple
Yeah,
Astro Train would be awesome.
That'd
Why
be
not? We got an orange and blue one.
Exactly.
yeah, safety Astro Train.
Yes.
Because so Jim, have you got anything in the more than Magnus but less than Devastator category?
Well, as far as anything super expensive, man, right off the top of my head, I mean, of course, the Devastator would kind of go without saying, but that's like 150 bones, and not everybody has that. I understand that. So I would almost recommend maybe one of the, even though it's not over 50 necessarily, one of the Perfect Effect upgrade kits for the Combined Wars figures from Captured Prey. They've got like the alternate head for Superion, the fists, the feet, that sort of thing. Which, if you already have the combiner, you've already spent every part of $90 anyway. So another $30, you might as well say it's close to 150. So I think that qualifies. But when the whole thing is all said and done.
Well, you never walk, you never run. So yeah.
Wow.
I've been sick. I'm on antibiotics. My jokes.
John, you're a winner. Hang on, let me murder my phone. Thumbs up. Yeah, people that know me actually know never to call my house on Friday nights at 9 o'clock. So, yeah.
Well,
the only calls I get are telemarketers. Nobody loves me.
Right?
that's great. A Massey attack and ringing phone, both in the same episode.
Right.
So you have anything else, Jim?
Well, other than the fact that I picked up this little Creo Optimus, and I am slowly, in a weird way, falling in love with it, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's so strange of a thing.
Because you
But
have it.
they have those at, and like I said, like TJ Maxx, and I would imagine probably Ollie's, maybe Kohl's, different outlets like that.
Well, you love it because Michael doesn't have it.
That's mean.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to step away for just a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Well, now that since Jim's gone, I'm gonna go ahead and go into my recommendations. We're gonna save the very best for last.
But I've already gone. Oh.
Exactly.
I
So
walked into that one. I walked into that one.
So I am absolutely just I've really enjoyed this year with the whole Combiner Wars line. So, when it comes to $15,
Real quick.
$25.
I'm sorry. Real quick. Jim stepped away because I called him anonymously, and he's going to check it. So don't tell him. So that's what happened. Go ahead.
All right. So
You.
It's too easy.
So yeah.
I haven't put all of my contacts in my new phone, and I unplugged the landline, so I honestly didn't know who it was.
Well, as soon as you unplugged the landline, I went, I got to call him.
Right?
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's amazing.
Mr. Swift, you were saying.
I was saying you can't go wrong with pretty much anything in the Combiner Wars line right now. It's all really fun stuff.
Agreed.
Just combiners themselves, especially Scramble City style combiners, are always so much fun to play with and to mix and match. So you can't go wrong with any of the deluxes. With most of the Voyager class figures are great. If you're buying a Motormaster, make sure you get one that came in the same wave as the white Optimus Prime, because you don't want those messed up hips.
Battle Core.
But they are still fun figures.
And the second version of Motormaster. Try to get that one if you can.
Yeah.
Is that what did I say?
I thought that's what you said. But I mean,
The
is there any
one
way
that
to
comes
tell
in the
from
way
the
with
box?
Battle Core Optimus is the
I thought
second
I said
one.
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I get that one.
Is there any way to tell from the box the differences on those? I haven't looked.
Actually, yes.
I think there's a different code, yeah.
Yeah, there's a different code embossed on the back side of the box. I don't recall what it is off the top of my head, of course. But
That's
you can go-
that's
you can
all.
go to,
That's
like,
just one Google search away. You guys can get.
Yeah. You can go like TFW, Sabertron.com, any of those, and just look through their past news feed, and I'm sure it'll say it on there, or maybe even the TFYP.
I thought I remembered hearing something about that you could check, even if you didn't know which wave it was. You could
Yeah.
check the box.
Yeah, it's the embossed number. It's not like printed in ink. It's embossed into the cardboard. I myself have the first version of Motormaster, and I'm making do. I don't mind it. It seems a little off, but when you have it combined, it actually helps hold the legs straight, in my opinion. But that's just me. So either one's good.
Yeah, it's just you have to do a little. I find you have to do a little more finagling with the first version to get him to stand.
Just a little bit.
So if you're gonna get one, since the fix is out there, you should go ahead and go for the fix. But it's still a fun figure. And then to up the price, instead of getting one, you can't go wrong with all five. And if you have to get one of the Combiner Wars figures, it took a while to grow on me, but Defensor is probably your best bet. I think of all, Superion is really great. He holds a really good cohesive look, but Defensor there's a lot of fun figures in that. The Rook figure is a lot of fun, even though it's not part of the original G1 team. It's still a really fun figure. And then First Aid looks amazing. If you're a fan of the IDW comics, he looks like he just jumped out of the pages. And once you figure out how to transform Hotspot's knees when he's in his individual robot mode, he is probably the best combiner torso.
Well, I'm going to jump in with one thing, Michael, because you're right. I think Superion looks better. Superion has never looked this good.
Yes.
And he is. I mean, and we never thought we would be saying how good a Superion figure could be because of all the past figures. But I think Defensor is basically more fun because you don't have 4 molds that are identical to each other almost.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's a lot more variety of fun in Defensor, even if his and even the G1 Defensor was not a cohesive look like Superion, but it's a lot more fun to play with.
Pardon me for a moment. I'm going to move my laptop here so you can see an example of fun with Superion. There you go.
Let's click on this.
Being thrown by Devastator.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. If that's not fun, I don't know what is.
That should be a new segment. Fun with Superion. It's just Superion in your apartment with doing different things.
Why not? You got Alpha on a shelf. Do Superion on whatever rhymes with Superion. I don't know.
Orange.
Yes.
Superion on orange. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think I still personally think that when on a shelf, Superion looks the best. But yeah, definitely as a fun factor, Defensor gets my vote.
Yeah.
Because you just have so much variety there. And Groove, and make sure you get Legends Groove, because Legends Groove is good.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't turn into a leg, he's still a good figure.
you could do like me and plug it into the front of Rook here. Make him a large kneecap.
Or you could just make him the power core combiner style, suicide chess piece.
Yes. Could you imagine the job description though when he was first hired on? It's like you have a choice of 2 departments. You can be a chest plate or you can be a kneecap. Does it have insurance?
Jim, only you would think about toys and having job interviews. Only you.
Why not?
That's what we.
How else do you list into the Autobot?
That's the uniqueness that Jim brings to this show.
Oh no, the uniqueness was the fan script reading. That was uniqueness.
Yes.
Yes. That was uniqueness.
Yes. Well, you've got people that think inside the box and people that think outside the box. I have no box.
No, you nuked the box from orbit.
No,
Yes.
you're the guy that needs to be put into the box and be sealed up, done.
No, but then you've got the whole thing like that one episode of Looney Tunes where Foghorn Leghorn is like hiding in one place, and the other little chicken goes and digs him up, and he's a completely different place. I mean, Jim, every time you lock the box, he's over there somewhere else.
By the way, that was Egghead. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking the chicken hawk, but yeah, now that you mentioned that.
No, it's a little kid with
Yeah, so
glasses.
Egghead. Yeah, I blinked on the name there. I've watched a lot of Looney Tunes. It all blends a little bit.
Obviously, so have I. So.
Beyond that, I would have to echo the Combiner Wars Magnus. He's a lot of fun as well, and a great figure. He's not very good at holding his weapon.
Stop you right there because you went with that. I'm going to jump into a discussion I had with Hang. He likes the Masterpiece Star Saber, and I jumped right in and said I agree with him over Ultra Magnus because Star Saber does not have a butt flap. So that's a win in my book. No butt flap.
I mean, sometimes you want to be decent and cover your butt.
Wow. I do understand that, You know, I look at it, and you're not going to see it, but every time I look at it, I know it's there. I know it's there. It's wrong. How hard would it have been to put a couple of extra hinges and flip the butt flap up?
I don't see the problem with it.
You probably like them butt flaps, don't you?
So Brett, what
big A-OK butt flapper.
What I'm hearing you say is you want to see the goods underneath the butt flap. You want it to be all shown off and all.
But if I'm paying for it, I want to see it.
Let it all hang out, huh?
If I'm paying for it, I want to see it. But I don't want no daggone butt flaps hiding it.
But again, if you can't afford Masterpiece Magnus, the Combiner Wars Magnus is a really good alternative.
And doesn't have a butt flap.
I like big butt flaps, and I cannot lie.
And I guess my final thing I'm going to recommend is, if you can still find him, I know he was hard to find to begin with, Combiner Wars Megatron.
Absolutely.
Wait. They're both so incredibly popular.
Well,
which one do you mean?
Let's pretend like the Armada one doesn't exist.
I like them.
I've been trying to pretend Armada doesn't exist for a decade, and it's not helping.
just the laser beak.
So I mean the G1 styled silver tank version of him, and not the green one that shouldn't exist. It is a really good figure. Screams G1 Megatron. I know a lot of it is somewhat inspired by the IDW Megatron, but it works a lot. I mean, he's a little too evil looking for that character, in my opinion. But with with Devastation coming out and him being featured prominently in Devastation, which, by the way, I guess that'll be my last thing I recommend. If you like video games, Devastation is a lot of fun, and you should definitely go out and get it for your chosen platform. But
Steam.
He's just a great, representation of Megatron. Without being a gun, he pulls it off really well. He has a lot of homages to that design in him, but still pulls off a really great looking tank. So that's definitely one that if you need a Megatron on your shelf that is like penultimate Megatron, barring it might be the penultimate G1 Megatron style figure, he is amazing.
Well, as far as ones that from Hasbro and all that, anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say
I have no familiarity with third parties, so I can't recommend anything to you.
Yeah. Well, I would say personally I have that mold and I do like it. I will say this: as soon as the G2 version comes out, that one's going up for auction because I want that in G2 colors.
Who doesn't love purple camo?
Yeah, or green. Either way will be fine.
You can blend in with any eggplant. Awesome.
You've gemmed it again.
What else is green and purple? Devastator?
Destructicons. A really bad animation day at on the G1 cartoon.
The Hulk. Come on, guys.
Oh yeah. I was going to say something about vomit after eating some Skittles, but that one works.
Nice. Technically, Hulk isn't green and purple. He's green that wears purple. That's different. He himself is not purple, as far as I know.
I don't know. Bruce Banner is never wearing purple pants, but he always has purple pants.
Do you know why? They talked about it in one of the comics.
Why he isn't purple?
It was the only ones they could find that would stretch. It was in purple.
I mean, they're his Gamma pants.
Interesting. I knew they were stretchy. I didn't know that was the particular reason why.
It was actually a joke. It was actually a joke in the comic, a play on why he was always wearing purple. just because of that. He even says, he goes, do you have these in any other color than purple? And they're like, nope. It was a joke.
Nice.
We'll throw it back.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic needs to get that poor man some unstable molecule pants.
And for the rest of the Fantastic Four, why not?
So, as requested by Megamus, I'm going to go ahead and give you the rest of our cast members' recommendations who aren't on the show right now. So, our very own Weird Wolf, also known as Duron Land, he recommends for an official toy what everyone recommends for an official toy, for the most part.
Duh.
Devastator.
Duh.
And like we've already said, you can't go wrong with that toy. It's a whole lot of fun. If you could get the Takara version,
Solid.
it's probably even better. Because
It depends. I thought it was too. I really just like the coloring of the U.S. release. I really just like it. It's very, very anime-ish color. So
Yeah, I think it's safe to say, but we might want to bring it up. When we say Devastator, we mean the regular retail release, not the San Diego version.
no.
That one has a strange use of its chrome. I don't know how I feel about that one.
It's just one of those. I think they just went. We'll put it there.
Hasbro
Right.
Chrome is always a strange use of Chrome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't knock the fact that they used it. I just wonder. I question more the placement of it.
Yeah.
Like for
The why?
yeah, the silver portions would have made sense, or if they would have maybe done it on some of the wheels, something like that. But a chrome purple mixing drum.
Yeah, I just wish we had gotten a G2 like everyone else does, but that's neither here nor there. Just for clarity, I thought I should mention that we don't.
No. You know what I think would be even better than that? A Diaclone color. I really do.
Yes.
The mix matches of colors would look perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
Now,
you know what, Don? With Titan Wars being next year, and the already seen possible Titan Metroplex, there's nothing to say that they won't re-release that Titan Devastator.
oh yeah,
Or not Titan Metroplex, but Titan
Fortress Maximus.
Fortress
I
Maximus.
would almost bank on it in possibly yellow, hopefully orange too, but at least yellow anyway.
I mean, because so far we're getting all the mainstream combiners as gift sets, as their G2 colors. I don't see why they wouldn't do it with Devastator.
Yeah,
Except-
I feel
except the
Devastator's
Dinosaur.
done quite well.
well, I'm just going to mention this. Another thing they could also do is if they wanted to have that as a Transformers Collectors Club subscription service figure as a straight repaint, it wouldn't be a lot of extra cost per figure, and you would have 6 figures over the course of the year, so they could do it that way if that's the only way to get it out. They might can do that. It's just a straight repaint, no remolding, no nothing, but it would be at a lower cost than the regular subscription figures, so you could still get your Devastator that way if that became the only way to get it out. I just wanted to mention that as something that I had been talking to some friends about. But who's next, Michael?
So, let's see, Duran, of course, said Devastator. Unofficial toys, he recommends the FT12 Grenadier, which is the not bombshell. He also recommends for an official figure that's less than $40, something easy for you to get, Combiner Wars Hotspot, which is the same thing I recommended. It's a very fun toy.
Yeah.
And it can't be recommended enough. It's great. Hang once again recommends Devastator. We're just gonna keep beating that horse until it's
There's a
smashed.
theme going here. Do you guys get this? There's a theme going. But go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, see, that's why we front loaded by saying we've all pretty much agreed Devastator.
Yep.
So, as for an unofficial figure, he goes ahead and he recommends Carrie, the Not Rodimus. That Don also recommended. So that's a
Rodimus.
couple You know, once is a recommendation, twice is confirmation that it's something that you should probably get.
And guys, I'm cheap, and I drop money for that right away. So
Usually you're cheap and drop something else.
yeah, I drop fat puns because I'm that awesome.
So, our own Mirai baby, she recommends the Mastermind Creations Seekers. It's a mold that she's in love with, and if you can find them and get them for a good price.
Does she mean the Hearts of Steel Seekers is what she's talking about?
Yes.
Oh, it just so happens I opened up my... I've had Starscream open. I opened up my Thundercracker and my Skywarp. For those of y'all who don't know who they are, they're basically... If the Transformers had woke up in late 1800s America using steampunk-ish style technology. And this is, you know, you got Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker as a Red Baron-ish tri-wing propeller plane.
Wouldn't that be early 20th century?
Well, I think Mark Twain is in one of the issues.
Because
So
I know
well,
Shockwave turns into
an ironclad Civil
an
War era
ironclad.
steamboat.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like Orville and Wilbur Wright were like what 1911 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like that whole era where they're building, you know, the trains going out west and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
it's your late 1800s, your early 1900s.
So steampunk for the sake of being steampunk.
But now I'm going to add one thing to her. If you get this for a collector, it needs to be an older collector because these figures have some very sharp points.
And fragile.
Well, the propeller is where some of the fragility comes in. I really haven't transformed these that much, so I can't say other than.
Well,
but I'm just saying, you know, out of the box, just watch out for some sharp points. That's just to get the look that the comics had.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well,
she-
the reason
she
I
says
asked that-
herself.
Yeah, I remembered when they were first coming out that people were getting them out of the box with the propellers bent, and if you tried to fix them, snapping, they would break off.
Well, they fixed that in subsequent releases by binding the propeller so it wouldn't move.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And then add, so the first initial releases of Starscream did have that issue because mine came in broke. But on the subsequent reissues, they bound the propeller so it wouldn't move and had protective film above it.
Well, I can tell you that when they came out, they had already did the Prime, the Nemesis Prime, if I remember correctly, and then they started on the Seekers.
Yeah.
Did they do Cyclops first?
Well, I think the Cyclops came afterwards, and the only reason I said it, or I think they did Starscream and then the Cyclops, but they hadn't done the others yet.
Right.
The reason being is because I had one of the Seekers, and after seeing how expensive Cyclops was, because I wanted to get the whole set, and then all the problems with the little tabs that I heard, I knew I wasn't going to get the whole set, so I decided not to collect them. But I did it because I'm of a completist mentality, and I would have had to get them all.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but the designs are awesome.
Yeah.
They're
And
wonderful.
I'm not a steampunk fan. That's not a genre that I'm very savvy with. But I love this aesthetic, and Shockwave is one of my favorites because I'm a big Civil War naval buff.
And
And
then did you love the concept art they had for Megatron?
I try to remember what that
That was cool. He was a cannon.
Cannon.
Oh yeah, the big rail, like the big Bertha rail cannon.
I'm sorry, but that's awesome.
Now,
Well,
now
That whole I love the Hearts of Steel stuff, and it's
I really
a shame
hope-
that it was only that 4-issue run. I think it was only 4 issues,
Yeah.
and then that whole Transformers Evolutions concept where it was supposed to be little side stories of Transformers as what ifs. That was the only one they ever did.
Now, being that was just concept art and never actually made it into the story, is that canon considered canon?
I don't know if canon's considered canon if it wasn't in there.
Jim, there you go, Jim, shooting off.
Because I'll tell you, I'll tell you,
The cannon is canon in my heart.
that definitely would have been something to
Of steel.
see,
Yeah.
though.
Oh man,
Maybe-
I totally messed it up.
Yeah. Maybe maybe Mastermind will eventually go back and look at that as an option, as say maybe a masterpiece Megatron that they probably couldn't use the Hearts of Steel design right now, as it wouldn't fit in with anything, but maybe they could make a Megatron that is a big turning thing. I don't know.
It feels like we're so far removed from that Hearts of Steel
yeah.
comic at
Well,
this
that
point.
was,
But
what, 7-8 years ago, was it?
it was like one of the first things IDW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I mean,
But anyway, Maria, but that's that.
so she goes on to recommend official figure Masterpiece Tracks, which I've heard nothing but amazing things about.
I have mine.
When I get mine in, I'll let you know.
I've got mine sitting over there on the cabinet. I have not had the energy to open them up and tackle them. I just haven't had the energy to tackle anything major lately.
And as someone who herself does a lot of fan creating, she says something to recommend over $100. She recommends some fan made plushies because she says she loves them. So I'm gonna throw that one out there. Good. So we're gonna move on to Insane Galvatron.
This ought to be good.
Yeah, he recommends Unite Warriors Defensor, and not the Hasbro one because it's the only one that comes with Groove as a limb. So, that's another option. Still same great figures.
I really wish that had come out in Guard City color.
Unofficial, he goes ahead and recommends X-Transbots Apollyon. He says it's the only proper scale MP gun Megatron. An official under 40.
Well, real quick, I have that Apollyon, and while I can overlook a lot of things, if you are really, really meticulous on your figures, I think you're going to be unhappy with it, with all the quality control issues they continue to have with it, with the dimpled and the imperfections on the chest, your paint apps. So Apollyon, I don't know if I would recommend that one, to be honest with you.
So Megatron has
It's a good size, but I had a lot of problems with it.
Well, that's. I'll be honest. I get a lot of flack from the guys elsewhere over me having Kronos. Kronos was not a good figure, but visually in robot mode, he is my Skyfire. He looks just based on pure looks alone, he is perfect. But
he is my masterpiece. Absolutely. And I can tell you that when I got mine right out of the box, I had one little smudge of like grease or something on his shoulder. That was it. I didn't have any quality control issues. He was fine.
Yeah, it's just, again, there's going to be figures that look great but aren't the best toy, so just keep that in mind.
Right.
And so official under 40, Greg recommends Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus or Combiner Wars Motormaster, and which are both things we've talked about. You can't go wrong with that Ultra Magnus, and if you're a fan of semi-trucks like Greg is, then Motormaster might be your thing. He's a good figure.
Michael, on that Motormaster, I just wanted to mention, just in case there might happen to be any of our listeners that might have been living under some kind of rock over the past several months, the difference with the two versions of Motormasters that we talked about is in the ratcheting joint on the hips. The second version has them rotated by like a millimeter or so that the legs stay straighter, as opposed to the original where they're more at an angle or out a little bit. That was the difference between the two that we were talking about.
Yeah, and you can definitely get around it being out a little bit if you mess with the especially when the limbs are attached.
Yeah.
It didn't. You could get around it. A lot of people complain about stability, but mine has never fallen over since I've stood it up. So you can't go wrong with either one. Find the fixed one. That's all the better. And then the last of our casts to put in their votes, Brycey recommends MP Magnus.
I can see that as a if you need a scaled Magnus for your collection, definitely I can see that. And with the reissue coming out, at least it'll be more affordable than what the aftermarket was. Between BotCon and now.
And unofficially, he recommends FT Sever, and I'm not familiar with this figure.
Oh yeah, Sever is Fans Toys, not Snarl.
Yeah.
And Duran will probably back me up on this. That is a really great. Have you got him, Brett?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh God,
Yeah.
he's a solid looking Snarl. Transformation is good. There's a little bit of trying to get some panels lined up in the back. There's
The
that.
back portion, yep.
Yeah, the back portion's a little. It's not fragile. It's not.
Did you have any of the
Finicky?
little spikes in the back pop off?
Not yet. No, mine was just mostly.
They're on a little ball joint, and
Yeah.
depending how much chrome they put on it, is how tight they are.
Yeah.
And some of them, after you tighten it or you transform it, they fall off.
Yeah.
Plug
no.
them right back in, and they're fine.
Yeah. Mine basically was just getting the back legs lined up so the torso would close around them.
Right.
But yeah, Sever is a. I mean, if you don't buy any of the Masterpiece Dinobots, but you love Dinobots, Sever is probably
What's the other one? Soar.
Soar and Scoria.
Soar is best. That's just.
You think so?
It's my favorite. To me, that's masterpiece swoop.
But
Boom.
but to me, with Stomp coming out, which is their Sludge was my first Transformer.
Well, we don't have it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Right
I
now,
know,
I gotta put
Oh,
swoop at the top.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, if they do Stomp as well as they did Sever,
Mm-hmm.
and Sludge having been my very first Transformer that I bought in June of '84.
You remember the month?
Yeah, it was my birthday.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was my birthday, June 21st, '84. I was 14 years old, and Mom gave me some money to go to we were set up at an antique show, and the one guy had Transformers there. So imagine looking down at a table, 8-foot table, Grimlock, Slag, Sludge. He is a Snarl. He didn't have a Swoop. All the G1 cars in a box. All the mini bots in a box. Mini bots were $5 a piece. Cars were 10 or 15 a piece. Dinobots were 15 to 20, I think. Just
Don't you wish you could go back and buy them all?
well, I would after my younger self bought the stuff the 4 things that he bought from him that weekend. Then I would have bought what was left. Because if I bought the stuff before I bought the stuff, then I wouldn't have had the stuff to get.
I mean, after you bought the stuff, you'd buy the stuff so that you'd have that stuff now.
Exactly, definitely.
Yeah, but what if you bought the
Now-
stuff,
Now my brain.
and then the stuff also happened to be
Yeah, but see, if I didn't buy the stuff that I bought originally because I had bought it out from under me, then I may not have the love that I have now, and I would have never gone back to get the stuff in the first
Well,
place.
I'm going to take you one further, and I'm thinking that if you went back and bought the stuff that you didn't buy when you were there, that might be the stuff that I've bought just recently, and then I wouldn't be happy.
Now, just for the sake of screwing with everybody's brain the rest of the way, what if you went back in time and you were the guy that sold the stuff to yourself?
No,
Don, it's very possible that I was the guy that stole you the stuff that you're talking about.
no,
the stuff
because
now that
the guy's name was Ralph, and
I go by Ralph too.
and he was a really nice guy. Well, he was a really nice guy, so that leaves you out. And,
Oh, that's true.
And
Never mind.
he was in his mid-60s at the time.
So you have a little while longer to go before you travel back in time.
Right. There
That's
you go.
right. Give me about another 30 years, and I'll be there.
You got to
Yeah,
think
right.
this stuff out, Don, because this
Yeah,
stuff
right.
is important. I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
right now we're in just kind of the planning stages. It hadn't really happened this year.
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah,
a pre-
but see, but-
we'll say it will happen because it's a predestination paradox.
But
Wow.
but it might not happen now because all this stuff we just talked about might have
No.
ruined all the stuff.
No, listen. This is the timeline that's skewed off. All right, we're on this timeline now, and I promise you that I will go back in time to that point and sell you those toys.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Charge me less so I can buy more.
I just might do that. No, I can't do that. That would change the future.
No, charge at vintage prices.
It's a paradox.
So what we just did here on TFYLP is we broke the timeline and then solved it in
And
10
bored
minutes.
the
Because
crap out of
we are that awesome.
Timelines for your listening pleasure.
Yes.
Exactly.
So what other ones did Brycey have?
That was it.
That's it.
So now, darn you, Brycey.
Yes.
So now we're on to the recommendations from one Megamus.
Well, really quick before we do that, on Facebook, Dalton Bratton says that he would say through the $50 to $100 would be unofficial MMC R13 Spartan, aka Impactor. That looks really good. I don't have that one, so I don't know about the quality, but it looks really good.
Well, I have talked to Diecast on RFC, Brett. He's got that one, and he says the quality is really good.
Good.
I don't think he's done it. I'm not sure if he's done his review yet or not, but he says the quality is definitely there.
For such a good character, I would hope that it was solid.
Yeah.
And then Mike Boyle, he says official United Warriors Superion gift set. He says for unofficial, Make Toys Gundog, which if I remember correctly, that's the Hound. Correct?
Yeah. Well, there's two versions. There's a lighter green show
There's
accurate.
the show color, and then there's the toy color.
Toy color, which
I
I'm
looked at them both, and I actually like the show color better.
I do too. I'm really tempted on that one
darker
and
green.
Sphinx. Yeah, no, the lighter green.
Oh, I'm sorry. The show color is the lighter green, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
toy
like
color-
the toy color. I like the
Okay.
toy color, the dark green.
Captured Prey has Gundog in stock right now for $89.
Oh.
I'm telling you, either
That's
version, they look really good. I particularly like the toy version because it looks just like it, and but the animated color one looks good too.
Yeah.
And then of course, Mike also said absolutely Devastator right now. And he even gave a link at Walmart, $109 with free shipping. You can't beat
Wow.
it. $109.
That's free shipping or site to store?
Says right here, Walmart has Devastator for $109 with free shipping. I'm clicking on it now.
So you don't even have to go to your...
It says free shipping, free pickup.
Wow, so
Yeah,
you
it
don't
sounds like
even have to go to your local Walmart store near your house. You can actually just have it at your doorstep.
I don't know. Well, you'll have to double check it because it may still be site to store. It just tells you that later on in the checkout process.
I'm trying.
But it doesn't really matter for $109. That's like at least 30 less than anywhere I've seen that.
Yeah,
And
it's you're saving $39.99 on their website. What it says.
Yeah.
That's enough to buy a couple of Combiner Wars Deluxes or something.
All right, is this coming up?
Or a Thundercracker from Capture Prey.
There you go. Right there. Walmart.com,
Wow.
$109.
109 bones.
Hey, do me a favor, Brett. Put that chat in the link, and I will send that out on Twitter right now, so everybody can take advantage of that.
How much you want to bet that $109 price is going to drop on Cyber Monday?
I
don't know. That's pretty cheap.
I mean,
That's
even if it does, it can't be much more than that because there's. Wow, that's just.
Could you
That's
imagine just imagine a $60 Devastator free shipping?
No, well.
How quickly would they sell out?
Nah, I don't see that happening.
Cyber
But
Monday,
If
you
they
never know.
even drop this thing down to $99, another $10 off, it's going to fly off the shelf. They're going to be gone. At 109, it's going to fly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm posting it right now so everybody can take advantage of this while they have it. So
Absolutely. All right. Did anyone else respond? Here. Make sure. Get everyone else's their chats. All right. Now, the reason that I asked Mike to go ahead and put me last is because I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to go the G1 route. I'm going to go the vintage. And I'm going to start at the $10 range, right around $10. And these are things I know that for a fact you can get them for around $10. And I think that it would make any G1 collector happy if they don't have them. And I'll start off with just flat out mini bots. Love the mini bots. They're simple transformations. I love the characters. $10. You can get them all day long. Go up a little higher, about $15. I'd start going into cassettes. Everyone likes cassettes. You know, Ravage, Rumble Frenzy, $15 a piece. That's to me, that's a solid win. Also in that area, you also have, if you're into your Insecticons, you can get the first 3 Insecticons for around $10 to $15, complete with weapons, everything. Then I jumped up a little bit. Now this is my big picks. Everyone's going to agree with me on this. If you're a G1 collector, between $50 and $65, you got to have Dinobots. Got to have your Dinobots. Your Grimlock, your Snarl, your Slag, all those guys. You'd be hard-pressed to find a Swoop for that price, but you'll find the other guys for that all day long. Now, what do you guys think would be the best for $100? If you had a $100 bill, what do you think would be the best thing you could buy G1?
$100?
$100.
G1. Now we're talking vintage prices, not current prices, right?
No. We're talking like if you had to buy it right now.
Oh man. See, if I thought I would get it for $100, I would almost recommend G1 Horde Bull with cred, but that would not be $100 now.
Yeah, they are. They go for about $100. Sealed Headmasters, about $100.
Sealed, unopened, in the box, never touched by humans.
I'm just talking about you're wanting to buy something for someone right now. You can get a loose one, complete.
Oh, well, loose, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what
I was thinking sealed in the box.
No, I'm just talking about straight up loose.
I'd say Metroplex.
Metroplex you could get for under $100. Yeah. That would be a good one. But I was thinking more along what about a real nice Megatron?
There you
or
go.
Even if you're on the opposite side, maybe a 100% complete Prime. You can get those for $100, maybe even a little less. Yeah. Those are good ones. Or one of the best ones out there. How about a Jetfire?
Oh yeah.
Nice Jetfire.
Jetfire is awesome.
Yeah. Now
I had the pleasure of buying one last year, and
they're very nice.
Even as a non-G1 fan, Jetfire is awesome, and you can't go wrong with buying one. If you see one,
honestly, you think about it, your G1's Prime, Megatron, and Jetfire. Those were my 3 top picks. You can't go wrong with those. You just can't.
Now,
they're just so nice.
Hey Brett, one thing I wanted to bring up that you brought up the Dinobots, which is an awesome thing because everybody loves dinosaurs and robots.
Yep.
But if you go out to buy them, be very careful. Over the past several years, some very close knockoffs in box have come out.
Absolutely.
They look like the G1. I mean, from a standpoint of if you wanted them to just display in the box, just looking at them, you could not tell they were not original G1 box.
If you didn't know what to look for, yes.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely. So, they're very close. As a matter of fact, I've had a few outside of the box that almost fooled me.
So how is the quality of those KOs? I'm just wondering.
There's a few differences in pins, tightness, and just little bitty minor things. But there's a website, and I want to say it's called TF Counterfeit ID or something along those lines. If you type in Transformers Counterfeits ID, it'll pop up. They got a really, really good site where they go into depth and tell you what to look for to make sure you don't get a knockoff.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring that up with a lot of people that this time of year are looking for things like parents and grandparents who don't know what the deals are. If it's in a box and it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. So just be careful.
And honestly, that can almost go with about just everything in life. If it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Would that be highendtfs.com?
That's it. That's it.
Highendtfs.com. There's no spaces or anything. Just highendtfs.
No, but I remember if you Google search Transformers counterfeit, that website pops up.
Yeah, that was the top result.
Yeah, so it's a really good. They did a really good job of it. I didn't keep up with all of them, so I don't have. I did like Swoop when it first came out, and then they've had so many since. But even with like Mirage and all the others, they did knock them off. So yeah, make sure you're getting the true vintage stuff.
There's even a knockoff Revenge of the Fallen Leader Class Prime.
Yep, that just came out.
Yeah. Well, heck, there's that Dark of the Moon, 2 foot tall KO leader Megatron.
Yep.
That is absolutely.
No.
All right.
Sound.
Who cut his sound off?
It's
Yay!
absolutely ...
Absolutely. And then you just went completely silent.
Megamus is the best. I love him so much.
I think he was just to say it's absolutely 2 feet tall.
Yes. I would love to see that Legends.
We can't hear you now.
That Legends Devastator they did in Revenge of the
We
Fallen.
actually can't. I just saw your lips say, "Can you hear me now?" But we can't hear you.
Megamus gets the best deals ever. Don, I understand and I appreciate it. Real quick, though, while he's having technical difficulties, I'm going to go one step further and say $150 price range. You can get a lot of 100% complete combiners, G1 combiners, loose complete, for $150. You can get your Defensor, you can get Minosaur, Abominus, all those guys, 100% complete, in great shape, $150.
Landcross.
The problem with him is they reissued it, and in my opinion, I actually like the tempos better than the stickers. I would go with the reissued one, which in my opinion you better be able to get for under $100.
Yeah.
Because it is a reissue, but then you don't have to worry about the sticker curling, the condition. Their tempo stamped right on there, and they look good. Not to mention, from what all I've seen, unless you get one mint out of the box, they tend to have the floppiness on the legs.
Yeah, I had a couple odd years ago. I had the reissue Landcross set that I sold it at SagaCon, and I also had a vintage Mock and Tackle. And despite the minor paint differences, on the face details and whatnot, I'm inclined to agree with you to a point on the tachographs. I think they're more durable than the stickers, because stickers being that they don't age well, they'll tend to fall off or peel or what have you. But I covered those. I think on it must have been about three years ago now on YouTube. I did a full 9 video spaced out video review of the whole Landcross Multiforce team and all, and pretty thorough detail. So.
I do like Landcross. However, even the reissue one, I was able to get the Chase one put together.
Oh, yep.
Were you?
Yeah, they're
nice.
very. They still, right where the hips hinge. They're still. It's a little wobbly.
Yeah, they do this. They do the Superion just lean.
Well,
yes.
what I do with that is that you just take the hips and just click them down one, so that they kind of go diagonally down a little bit, and that seems to help the stability.
Yeah.
It also helps it be a little bit taller. I don't know.
It's a good figure.
Yeah.
And the Chase black one looks really good.
Fantastic. I never did get that one. I think it was the Tackle. I think I got the black one at one time, but beyond that,
I went ahead and when they first came out, I bought cases of every single one that came out of the 6-liner, 6-train, all of them, and I was able to piece together all the Chase figures.
Cheater.
They're really nice.
I'll be honest though, of all the of all the Japanese Transformers I've got through the years, Lane Klaus and Road Caesar are two of my bigger disappointments.
Road Caesar is just, I love that figure. It's an easy transformation. I mean,
Yeah,
literally, it's just one robot sitting on two cars, but it's awesome looking.
4 feet and legs, and all 4 pretty much everything else.
Yep.
Yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see Combiner Wars, Titan Wars, whatever the third series is. I would like to see a new Road Caesar because I think they could do more with 3 cars now than they could back in the day. It's like JRX. For a 3-robot combiner, there's not that many, but JRX is still a really strong figure. But I would love to see a new Road Caesar.
Wonderful figure, and if I could ever find another Japanese one, I would snatch it up in a heartbeat.
Good Lord, could you imagine a Titan Wars JRX?
Oh, I'm looking to do some of these Japanese, because for years I've been asking, like on the BotCon thing, on the bot example, trying to use some of these older molds like the UK Turbo Masters stuff. If the molds still exist, use them to get the figures out before these molds completely disintegrate, and at least have some more of these molds available. But people, but
Combiner Wars Road Caesar.
Yeah, but everybody
you have to flip his arms out as just normal arms.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But the thing of it is, though, people nowadays are so used to all the articulation, they can't see going back to the days of G1 articulation, whereas for me, it's like, I don't care about the articulation if we can get these molds out to everybody so before they don't exist anymore. But again, but I would still love to see a Titan Wars, a Combiner Wars, whatever, JRX, Road Caesar, Lyle Kaiser, a new version. It's just, get some of these molds from Japan that would be new and fresh to the people today.
Right. Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Are the shoulders ever able to come out like this, where you could put his arms up like this?
I think they might. Hang on, I'll check.
And then drop his forearms straight down.
So I got one more recommendation.
Oh, cool.
Road Caesar, also known as Thunder Thighs.
That you know what? That is so close, it's scary.
Right?
That is.
So
at
least we know why his shoulders hurt.
Exactly. He's always doing this.
So I got one more recommendation.
Okay.
In the $230 to $250 range, it's still extremely easy to find the reissue Fortress Maximus. And if you've ever wanted a Fortress Maximus, it's a great thing to pick up.
I agree.
It's a lot of fun.
And then a bonus, you get the sword.
Yeah.
Swords. 2 swords.
As a matter of fact, I'm not. There's one out there now as a sale, as an early Black Friday sale, that I'm tempted to pick up because I keep my Fortress bags under a black sheet, and even under that sheet, because I pick up the sheet, look at it, and sort of just put the sheet back down after every now and then. But it's aged yellow, not sunlight faded, and it's pretty much yellowed to the point where it's not as pretty as it used to be. I would love to get a new Fortress Maximus, to have a pretty fresh one that wouldn't have those yellowing problems. But it's not in my budget right now with all the stuff coming out, unless I drop something now and pick that up.
So you just lift it up and you're like, huh, no sheet.
This cheese isn't done yet. It's not mature.
But it's just, for years I kept it out because I didn't know about the whole yellowing thing. I didn't know about it because I kept it on this way. And then when I finally found out about it, I started keeping it in dark places, off sunlight off of it. But over the last couple of years, it's just the age has caught up to it.
Now, have you thought about possibly attempting that? Was it hydrogen peroxide or something? An attempt to lighten it back up? Or?
Problem is, though, I think you have to disassemble parts, and I can't build level 1 Gundam kits. I am not taking apart my Fortress Maximus.
Yeah. Well, on top of
Why
that,
not?
if it's got stickers on it, that's gonna destroy the stickers. You're gonna need something like repro labels or something like that.
And pretty much, as sooner, it's probably easier just getting a new one if they keep going on sale between now and Christmas as specials.
Yeah, they're not hard to find. They put more of those out there than apparently was demand. Just
The problem is though, it's still a great toy. I just
Yeah, I had the pleasure to own one for all of I don't know 24 hours last year,
Awesome.
but it was a lot of fun. It's a great Creo base. I posed all my Creos on it.
Ew. Oh.
Jim's having too much fun.
I am.
It's the fun of Combiner Wars.
No, my desk is absolutely covered in stuff. I mean, I've
Just
got.
stop doing it, you'll go blind.
Wow. No, I've got Autobots here. I got Devastator over there. Defensor, Venusaur, all kinds of odds and ends. So yeah.
And for our watchers that just suddenly got motion sickness, we do apologize.
You're welcome. Glad I can help.
He's not the film school student of our podcast.
Nope.
By any stretch of the means.
Motion sickness. Slimy yet satisfying.
Well, does anyone else have any more recommendations?
Well, I just I noticed one from Twitter's from Mantis99s. They recommended a full set of any Combiner Wars combiner or a masterpiece of your choice.
Oh, and
so pretty much any masterpiece, I imagine, is what they had in mind.
Yeah. And also, my friend Icon45, he also mentioned this. Was either him or Paladin from Superhero Time mentioned this. The recent reissue or the recent release, Takara's Blue Streak. So if you know anybody that either had the toys as a kid, even if they don't collect now,
Doesn't exist.
but they did have, they say, well, I had some of those Transformers when I was a kid. They will probably remember the catalog that showed the Blue Streak in there. And even if they're not a collector now, they would probably get a real big kick out of having that Blue Streak, even if it's just in car mode, because it's something you've never had as a kid.
True.
Out of an unexpected left field.
From down the chimney across,
With stuff.
stuff.
It's Jason, also known as Plasticon.
Surprise!
What's up? So what's your recommendations for what people should buy for Christmas when it comes to Transformers?
Save your money and buy all the G2 stuff that's coming out.
Boy, there's
There you go. There you go.
That is a Plasticon answer, if ever there was one.
Yes.
Yeah. So I take
That or
it,
buy all the masterpieces,
Yeah.
because those things are great. There you go.
yeah, I take it you've seen the G2 Bruticus.
Yes.
I haven't seen this G2 Bruticus. Someone posted a link to
I'll
this G2
try to
Bruticus.
find you a link.
It's G1 accurate or G1. Jeez. G2 accurate color scheme with the purple camo, and the shockwave it comes with is in the Action Master shockwave colors.
Yes.
I
That's awesome.
I kind of wish they could have pulled off a Shockwave color on that, but the
I
Action
thought
Master
so,
color
too.
is not bad.
That would have worked wonderfully. Plasticon, I got a question for you. What are your thoughts on the use of Action Master color scheme on a G2 figure?
I think it's actually kind of cool because Action Masters kind of had like a really weird, like if you look at like some of the figures that had come out, a lot of them had like screaming orange or just like a really weird green, or just the colors literally were almost G2. So I think it works. It's a pass for me. I actually like Action Masters, so. Yeah.
So even though it's not G2, it's Plasticon approved.
Because Action Masters are cool. I don't care what anybody says. They are.
There you go.
How much can you find Action Masters on right now?
Yeah, it's well. I mean, the thing is, the only Action Master stuff we actually have gotten recently was a lot of those club exclusives, but that's about it. It hasn't been anything else really.
I gotta say though,
How did I miss this?
Yeah,
This
I
is
gotta say
amazing.
though that
Because you fail, sir.
Since they're doing the Action Master colors on the Shockwave, it's going to have me wanting them to do the Action Master colors on some of the rest of the Combiner Wars figures that had Action Masters.
I think an Action Master as a Target Master works. I think it's a great idea.
But now I'm going to want a Leader Class Megatron in the Action Master colors with the purple hands. You know, I'm going to want a Action Master Devastator.
Well, Jason, that's an easy switch for Armada. Just use Armada Combiner Wars Megatron.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
No, actually, I got that off of eBay cheaper than I could buy it retail.
How much?
$30 shipped.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
Nice.
And it was already customized like that, so I'm gonna hop over to Repro Labels and get the G2 set they had for that GDO one, which was not
yeah.
Megatron to me at all. I'm gonna get the stickers for that and put them on there because it works.
Yeah.
But
It's better than trying to really paint camo on that thing because it'd be pretty difficult to do. I can do a better job with an X-Acto knife, and Repro labels stick, and you know how it is when you try to pull them off, it rips them. So.
Yeah. Well, Jason, let me ask you this, man. All seriousness aside, other than the G2 stuff coming out, what currently that would you recommend, both regular and third party?
To be honest, a lot of the masterpieces that are coming out are really good. I do recommend those. Even that Diaclone thing that came out, that's actually really neat. I know the price is a little high on it, but if people support that, that means they're going to do more. And I would love to see them force their way into Fortress X and such. It's like, you know, when they come out with the Power Master Prime from the Magnus, that's a great alternative. I mean, if people keep supporting this Combiner Wars line and go into the Titan Wars line, then you're going to keep getting the cool robots you're getting now. Some people I know hate the they really, really hate the simple fact that you've got a Combiner Wars that's identical to this one and all it is redeco. But I'm sorry, go back to Generation 1. How many redecos did you get of the Fairlady Z? 3, and nobody bitched.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Why do people complain? Oh, the Seekers are all the same. Essentially, the bodies to every Seeker is identical, even the cone heads. So what are we complaining about, really?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, sorry, support the fandom. If you want toys, buy them. If you don't want them, then stop bitching.
Yeah. Oh.
You know, I'm sorry, go ahead, Don.
No, I was going to tell Jason, just in case he didn't know the two things. One, we all agreed that we're all agreeing on Devastator. That's pretty much a thing.
Absolutely.
Devastator is awesome.
Yeah, and also he's $109 with free shipping at Walmart right now.
Masterpiece Devastator.
I just want them to redeco that thing as yellow or orange. Seriously, one or the other, or both.
I'm telling you, Diaclone colors would be awesome.
I agree with you, Brett. I really do. The Diaclone colors are sexy on that thing. Period.
On Facebook, James Gaultier again. He's decided that he was going to throw in his 2 bids for the $150 to $200 range, and he said, and I quote, "The entire domestic release of Car Robots RID." And I'm going to say that yes, you'll probably get change back.
Absolutely. Love that series.
That's a no-brainer. I mean, think about it. They can easily redeco that Magnus into the RID Magnus. They can do the same thing with Prime. I mean, maybe do some tweaks or something, or maybe just take the hot spot and make that look more like Prime. It's an option, considering, you know, he was a fire truck. So.
You know, since you brought up the Magnus, it reminded me something a friend of mine, SquawkFox74, brought up just earlier today in a conversation we had. And I'm pretty sure, just off the top of my head, I think he's absolutely right on this. He pointed out that this is probably the first Ultra Magnus that became an Optimus Prime, as opposed to the other way around, of an Optimus Prime becoming an Ultra Magnus.
I mean, I don't know whether on the boards, like when Hasbro came up with the idea of the Ultra Magnus, that maybe they had the Prime first, but they were like, well, Ultra Magnus will get better hits than the Prime would, considering Prime has gotten so many repaints and remolds throughout the years. I mean, Prime is just like the example of like every single solitary Transformer ever. But Magnus, if you look, he doesn't get as many iterations as Prime has. He just doesn't. Sometimes it's a complete different mold.
Sure. But
so honestly, like from Generation 1, this really is the first time I think we've seen like a reuse of the same toy as that and making it more accurate.
Right. But
Other than
as radically
other than
different
the
as they are,
classics.
though. As radically different as they are. I mean, they use the same base mold for the most part and transformation, but there's just such a drastic retool difference between the two. You know, I can't help but wonder if the Power Master Optimus Prime was their back burner idea and they had the Magnus idea first. Honestly, just because of how it transforms and how everything kind of fits together the way it does.
That's true. Something I would like to see that we probably will never see, considering this only hit prototype drawing stages, was the hot rod that was made from a fire truck that was like a Power Master Prime.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, that's
like,
an art book.
I'm sorry, but Collectors Club something. Seriously, that would just be sick to see that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it was good to have a drop in from Jason. It's been a long time since he's been on.
Yes,
But we are out of recommendations. You have a lot of great stuff listed here tonight that would make awesome gifts for any Transformers fan. And you should definitely consider, if you don't have any of these, whisper in someone's ear. Write it on your list. You know,
Go in
tell
someone's
Santa
ear.
Claus. These are all great figures, highly recommended from us. You can't go wrong with any of them, especially Devastator. Devastator is king.
Since everybody has recommended Devastator
Yeah.
tonight.
I mean,
So-
honestly, if you want one Transformer for Christmas, Devastator would be. That would completely like. Hey, I want a bunch of Transformers for Christmas. Just get Devastator. Then you've got 6. I'm sorry, it's fun.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
everybody says.
Well, for one last salutations, Headmaster Don.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Stay safe, shop safe, and just be careful.
Maroni Prime.
Happy holidays, all. As was said, be safe, stay safe. Don't get too wasted. If you do, make sure you have a designated driver in the event you're even leaving your house. If not, don't.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yes. The other half is 25% red lasers, 25% blue lasers.
Plasticon.
Happy holidays and get fat off a turkey. That's all I got for you.
And Megamus.
Eat turkey, you turkey.
And Stuff.
Well, I like stuffing. Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Good stuff.
And this is Cyberrun 2. Wishing you guys a good Thanksgiving. Some great shopping. Make sure you watch out for those deals. Make sure you go and jump on that Devastator.
Not literally. That
Not
would be
really.
awkward.
RPD, just keep that in a closet somewhere. Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, this has been TFYLP episode 178. Have a good one, everybody. Peace
There,
out.
y'all.
And Stuff.
Master Prime!
We're going back in
Master
time.
Prime! Yeah, that too.